Hey guys. Hi.
Hi, welcome.
Good evening. Last live stream
Oh,
of the
jeez.
year. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Troy. Hi, Ladina. Hi, Diana. How are you guys doing? What are you doing?
I'm just trying to get the last few little bits of organization ready. Hi, Sabine.
That's a new name. Welcome.
Sabine Cody, welcome. We have a little heart and your little icon avatar.
So this live stream will be an update on our 2018 goals, which was our very first video that we published on YouTube after going live. Well, first we started with the live stream to kick off the channel.
January 1st.
Yep.
The very first thing we ever did on YouTube was a live stream on January 1st.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at 10 p.m., was it 10 p.m.?
Yep, it was 10 p.m.
When we were done with our live stream, we made our very first video live.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was a really fun way to do it.
Yeah.
Hey, Kaylee.
Cool. We had a lot of great support from a lot of great people.
Mm-hmm.
They gave us a lot of the courage we needed to do that.
Oh gosh, looking back at it, even just the first 3 months, I was so nervous. Hey Rose, hey Michigan Mike, what's up?
Hey,
Hi
Mike.
Tracy. Hey Valerie, I see you in there. Country Homestead Preacher, Carol from Toronto. Hi, welcome. I've been to Toronto and I love that city. Hi Deborah. All is well here in the hometown of Ferris State Bulldogs football club. Congratulations. Hey Niels, how are ya?
Yep, so we've been kicking around the idea. In fact, it's been on our list of videos to make was to let's wrap up 2018. Because we did a 2018, what are our goals for 2018 at the beginning of the year? So why not, it's the end of the year, why not do a video and kind of wrap up and say, what did we accomplish? What did we not accomplish?
Mm-hmm.
And then we were talking the other day about what are we going to do on our live stream this week? Because we always start talking about, Sunday? We start
usually
kicking
Sunday.
around.
Mm-hmm.
What are we going to do? What are we going to talk about this week? And I said, why don't we just do our 2018 Homestead goal recap?
That was a really good idea.
Just do it live. So.
Mm-hmm. So people that aren't watching the live show will get to watch it back and see how we did. And I just want to set context. So I published the goal video in the community tab on YouTube yesterday in case we have new subscribers that hadn't seen that. And I rewatched it myself just to remind myself, what did I even say? I mean, I knew I'd written it down, but that paper got long forgotten. And I think it got forgotten when we got a new fridge or something, because we got the new fridge and it didn't get transferred over. But one of the things that I said was I don't ever do resolutions. Resolutions it's a must do, and I shall, and there is an absolute and a failure if you don't succeed. So I like to set goals, something to work towards, and even if you achieve them a little bit, hey, you're further along than you would have been. And make sure you say hi to people as they jump in, so because I see Thales Howard, hi.
Yeah, and Mike369, I think that's the guy that lives near us.
Okay, cool.
In Belleville, I believe.
Cool. Gans, two wild onions, welcome. So anyway, that's my point, is that, as we go through this, I feel pretty darn good because we set out to accomplish a lot of things, and we certainly did, and then some. But then there are things that we just never even got to.
Hi, Linda. Hi, Jack. Welcome.
Hey, Jack. So let's talk about the first one. Or do you want to show that recap real quick?
Yeah. Here's a quick, tiny little snippet from that very first video that we ever published in a non-live streaming format. So hopefully that worked.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
When we play things through OBS, we can't actually hear anything, so hopefully you guys could hear that. There's just a little bit of music in the background. So that video kind of consisted of you getting on a big piece of paper and writing down what all of our goals are for the year.
And everyone knows, anyway, everyone that knows me going into 2018, that if I didn't do anything else, if I only successfully raised my own pigs, the year would have been phenomenal. And we did.
Mm-hmm.
So we raised our 2 pigs this year. So we got them as little babies. This was right after we brought them home. 2 red wattles that we got June 2nd. I think I placed the order in like February with the guy. And,
hey, Citystead, welcome.
Welcome. Hi, Dave.
Homestead in the Highlands and Kiri and My Little Chill.
And Linda, welcome. Red Duchess Farm, welcome. And so we brought them home June 2nd, and they just left the farm last Monday.
8 days ago?
Yeah.
7 days ago?
Last Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And we had a ball raising them, guys. Oh my gosh. I fell head over heels in love. I think I could easily be a pig farmer. And it's been, I think, lonesome for me and lonesome for the goats since they've been gone.
Yeah, because they were next door neighbors. Like 2 paddocks were connected together, so they shared a common fence, the goats and the pigs. And at first, remember when we put them together, the goats were freaking out, and they were like, what are these things? And the pigs would freak out, and they would run back and forth along the fence trying to figure everything out.
But then they got to where they were just visiting with one another, and so
the pigs would never get too close because that little strand of electric wire. They learned their lesson quick with that.
So that was a huge goal. It was something brand new for us. We've never ever raised any type of live large livestock, and score. We did it. Good job.
We got a whole bunch of meat coming pretty soon.
Yes.
We're still not going to tell you how much.
Yeah, because the thing is I think I'll be gone when he gets the call to go pick it up.
I'm going to have help.
Yeah. But in order to be ready for the pigs, we knew we had another goal, which was to fix our fencing around the paddock, and that got done. So what that entailed was we had to tear down the 3-strand electrical or 4-strand electrical wire that was on it. Todd had to build a fence pulling system.
To pull that fencing, which is quite a task. If you've never pulled fencing before or tried to handle.
Yeah, well, we got 300 feet rolls or something like that. They were really big rolls.
Yeah, they were big rolls, and those things are very heavy.
Yes. And you had to replace a lot of the posts because they were rotted, and we really didn't know the condition of the existing paddock till we got in there. So you can see, like, in the far back corner, a brand new H bracing there. So he fixed some of that. We got the new fencing pulled and electric ran.
Yep. And the goat pen and the pig pen.
Well, at the time, it was never in our goals to have goats.
Very true.
Not at all. And I think, how did I come across these? I think just like I do everything else, I start researching like typically a year or so in advance to know if it's something I want to get into or just learn about it. So I'd already been a part of several like Facebook goat pages, and we have a Michigan one, and I think it's Michigan Dairy Goat Facebook page. And these goats came up for sale, and I was just like, oh, I think we might have to pull this forward. So in April, these two little girls came, and they are Nubian goats. We got them, probably they were, I think, 12 to 14 weeks old. And they're just precious. They're grown up so much now. And we're just loving having them on the farm. They're super, super, super sweet. So Ladina said her brother rode our two pigs as a kid long ago. So we, when my godson came over one day, we tried to get him to ride one of the pigs, but he was a little nervous about it. Chicka Wolf says that they love putting up fencing. I bet you do. That's not sarcastic at all, I'm sure.
Yeah, as long as you're like prepared and you've had a plan, I think once you do it a few times, it could go a lot smoother. There's certain things that I didn't like about it. Primarily, if you want to when you want to strip the ends of the fencing off so that you can wrap it around itself. Once you cut all the ones that go this way, and you got to pull all those ends off of there. That kills my hand.
I just want to say hi to Madison. Hi, Rosanna. And Homestead in the Highlands. Welcome. So we're just doing a recap of our 2018 goals. So from a farm, growing our own food source, as far as meat goes, those were our goals, was just to grow, expand to pigs this year. And we not only expanded the pigs, but we added the goats.
Mm-hmm. And we had the
meat chickens, yeah.
The meat chickens, we had a goal of 30.
Yeah, so I did have a goal, and I'm kicking myself for not accomplishing this. I did have a goal for 30 meat chickens this year, and we only raised 13 because that's all that they had at Tractor Trailer Supply when I finally got over there to pick them up. And so I planned to do 2 rounds, to do the first round of meat chickens and then do a second round. And we just never got around to it, I guess, is the best. I mean, it felt overwhelming to add another round of meat chickens with everything else that we had going on. And we still had the 2 turkeys as well that we raised. So we just agreed and decided that, okay, what we had planned to do with the other 13 meat chickens, we'll just can the turkeys and we'll have additional canned meat. Mm-hmm. But this last week, guys, I went down to the freezer and I'm almost positive I pulled my last meat chicken from 2017.
The last whole one.
Yeah, my last broiler. And I'm like, I'm going to have to reach out to friends to say, can I come buy some meat chickens, like the Pratts or somebody that's close that has a bunch. Because I so much enjoy having those now. Like, especially if you just want to use it in like a soup and then in quesadillas, and it can just go into so many different meals. So we're not big like roasted chicken fans, but to have a whole broiler that you can shred up and use in a bunch of dishes.
Deborah E., welcome. Where are you from? You said you're just starting your homestead.
Oh, nice. Quail, chickens, and rabbits. Researching bees. Awesome.
I don't think we've thought about rabbits or quail, really.
I have thought about rabbits. I just haven't told you I think about them. Yeah. Hey, Almost Homestead. Meat in the freezer is like money in the bank. That's right. And it's something that we talked about before. No matter what it is, whether it's my eggs, my homegrown meat, my canned vegetables, I can't help but feel like it's free food, even though I know I paid to feed them and take care of them. It's my time, it's my labor. but it just feels so good knowing I don't have that grocery bill. But speaking of bees, Ladina, we had bees was another huge goal. It was specifically Todd's strongest desire to get into this hobby of bee keeping. And why don't you talk about that?
Sure. So the picture that we're showing you right now is when we very first started, and we only had one hive. We purchased, was it my birthday or for Christmas that you got me the starter kit?
Christmas. I don't remember. Christmas or your birthday?
Christmas or my birthday. They're both, my birthday's in January, so it's within a couple weeks. She got me a nice starter kit. So I had like 2 boxes to start off with. I found a guy local here in Michigan who was selling nukes, which is basically a small box of bees that you use to start off with 5 frames. He was local. The bees themselves were winter survivors.
So they were Michigan winter survivors.
Right. Yeah. So I placed my order early with him in February, maybe.
Yeah.
And I think it was around April. I went and picked up the bees. We brought them home. We installed them into their colony, and they thrived. In fact, they thrived so well that we ended up expanding and splitting that hive into a second colony. So at this point, going into winter of our first year, we have 2 hives. Last time I checked them, which was like 2 weeks ago, we had a Sunday afternoon, which was about 60 degrees, which was odd. But I used it as an opportunity to go and check on the bees, and both colonies were still alive. I fed them, they were flying, they were cleansing flights. So our first year so far has been a success.
Yeah. And not only we actually got quite a bit of honey.
We did get some honey out of it.
This is my honey, guys, that my bees gave me. I used to buy honey weekly almost at the farmer's market. I spent so much money on honey, and I think I know I probably have enough, as long as I don't use it for everything that you could possibly use like a sweetener product for. I have enough to get me through next spring easily.
Yeah, and one of the things that I think we've talked multiple times throughout the year was one of the ways that we were going to gauge success was whether or not they made it through winter.
Right.
And now that we're here in winter, not that I'm being pessimistic, but I think that might set the bar a little high, in that if all of my bees die this winter, I still consider what I did in the past a success because I learned a lot.
Yeah, you were able to split and everything.
And if all my bees are dead and I got to buy new ones this spring, I'm going to have a lot more knowledge than I had this year. So either way, it's a success.
Absolutely.
If they survive, I'll be happy. It'll save me some money. I won't have to buy some.
Right. We'll put that on our 2019 goals list, that our bees make it for 2019.
Yeah.
So Tracy asked a good question. If we ever raise more pigs, do we think we'll ever do the butchering ourselves? I know I have an answer, but I'll let you answer it, since you would probably be doing it.
Maybe a little bit later in life I could see myself doing it, like when we retire. But right now, working as much as we do, we both have full-time jobs. So working as much as we do, and the way that the meat comes back from the butcher with everything shrink wrapped and frozen and ready to go right into the freezer. But doing it yourselves, not only do you got to do it and process it all, but then you got to package it in a way so that it can store safely in your freezer. So it costs more money. It costs a lot of money to get things butchered, but at this point in time, I think it's a good trade-off for the amount of time that it would take.
Right. I would say, to add to that if we ever did it, it might only be if we were to raise something smaller, like a guinea hog or a cooney or something like that, just to try out raising an American guinea hog for a taste comparison, which would be a much, much smaller animal to manage. So hopefully that was a decent answer for you. So
Trying
they
to
said that
see
they
if we
butchered
missed anything.
6 the last time they did it.
6 hogs?
Jeez, oh Pete's, yeah, wow.
Yeah, and I think one other factor, I guess, that would go into it is if we could get help.
Yeah, sure.
Because just me and you, just doing like 15 or 20 chickens, it'll take us all day.
Yeah, and Wendy and Troy are saying don't forget about all the equipment you need for butchering too.
Right.
Yeah, we can get by like with our just chicken and turkey butchering with just our small setup, and you don't need much. Basically, a little hatchet and a knife is all that we use. So.
Yeah, both Kiri and Tracy said they tried raising rabbits and they didn't really have any luck.
Oh, really? Okay, well, that's that. So.
Yeah, Red Duchess is saying that they're trying to raise more feed for their animals. So not just raising the animals, but raising the feed. Don't have to go to the grain mill to buy the feed. And I mean, it's like an endless cycle. You could.
I was there every single week.
I can easily see why the original homesteaders didn't have jobs. This is what they did all day, every day. You could spend your whole life doing nothing but raising food to feed your food.
Yeah. Right. That's true.
You know?
That's true. And you need a ton more property to be able to do that. I mean, to grow enough grain to feed your animals. Now, we've been able to many times, like, not even feed the pigs any kind of grain source because we had enough scraps left over from the day before that we could feed them, or anything that might have been excess out of the garden. Same with the chickens. Just the other day, I didn't even have to feed the chickens because I had enough waste left over that I could feed them. But I'll be honest, that's not anything I think that we could ever do. We just don't have enough property or time to raise and process enough food source for animals.
Right.
Okay.
I've been trying to cross things off as we talk about them.
Oh, okay.
Talked about beef, meat, chickens.
And fencing.
This was the survey.
Oh.
Yeah, our stage 1 of our fencing project is when we moved here, both neighbors kind of said, I think the property line's here and this property line's here, and when you want to put up perimeter fencing around your property, right about here is not good enough.
Yeah, and when I said that we set out the goal to fence in the property, I was pretty honest with myself that was a pretty big reach the first full year here. And so I called it stage 1. And I said, I know in order to even start fencing, we have to get our property surveyed first. Well, we did that, when was that, like February-ish? When did we, because it was still cold out.
Yeah, February, March.
Yeah, and so we did that, and guys, it cost a fortune. So it kind of chewed up what a good amount of budget that we would have had to support putting in fencing. So, but at least now we know our property boundaries. They're staked, they're marked off. So it's ready for us when we do set out to do it.
Right. Mary Mayer asks, are we going to butcher our own pigs? No, we are not.
Yeah, our pigs actually went on to the processor last Monday. We took them there.
Yep. And somebody else asked, do we both, where did that one go? Do we both work full-time? It might have been Susie asked that question. We do. We both work full-time jobs, 40 hours a week.
Yep.
She does it in 4 days. I do it in 5 days.
I work Monday through Thursday, and he works just the standard 5-day-a-week shift. Hey, Jess, welcome. Okay, I know what I should have shown you when we were talking about the pigs, and the stretch goal for the external property was the animal barn. So I called it build an animal barn. This is the animal barn we built. So, you know what? It's a shelter. It's keeping my goats warm. It has a roof over it. And just so if I know we have a lot of new people in here tonight, what this is this is a 10 by 10 very strong steel dog kennel.
Yep.
And Todd built a really nice roof over it.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to winterize it, we just put up some straw bales and keeping the animals warm that way.
And it does work quite well. We were just out there last night, and the wind was whipping, and we were inside that
nice and warm
little hut,
yeah,
and it's nice and warm.
Yeah. So that's my animal farm,
which was on our goal list.
Yeah, it was on our goal list
because we didn't. So at the beginning of 2018, we didn't really know what animals we were going to try to overwinter because we didn't decide we wanted goats yet at that point.
No, but I did know I needed a barn
to
be able to shelter animals. So I knew I had a vision just like outside that gate for where the goats are, and maybe I never explained it to him, that the paddock would open up through a walk-through barn that would open up into the back pasture. And it's still a vision of mine that someday I'll have that.
I've looked at them, and I've found a couple people on Facebook. I need to share some things with you.
Okay, cool. Okay, so let's talk about our first big failure, like absolutely did nothing with it. And that was the well project. So we mentioned that in the live stream when we went live that we have 2 wells on this property. One we know is likely not any good anymore. It's the one that the house would have been tied into before they got on city water. The other one we discovered well after we lived here and found out there's just this big, huge concrete slab out behind the barn. Found out it was a well. So and it's not far from the garden or where the animals are. So we really wanted to create a way that we could harvest that water to have a watering system for free, basically, for the garden and for the animals. So first step to that was we needed to test the water to make sure it was safe to put on our food or to feed the animals. So I did buy the water test kit, but we never did anything with it. We never lifted that lid this year.
Nope.
So that is a big failure, or a big unaccomplished goal. And I call it a failure only because the benefit that I would have of that in 2019 going into my gardening season, that I could set up my drip lines and have it on a timer, and it would just be that more maintenance free of a garden space than it already is. So
Mike was asking if we're going to raise, is that pig meat going to last you a couple years? When will you get more pigs?
I really think it will last us a couple years. Now, we might not have a couple years worth of like bacon, but when it comes to like the big meat pieces like pork chops and steaks and hams and all that, I think it will. I think it will at least get us a year and a half.
Yeah, so next year we've already pretty much decided we probably will not raise pigs next year. We have a lot of the pork, the ground pork that we're getting back, we're getting about half of the ground pork in just plain ground pork. And we're going to do some experimenting with that to make some different types of sausages ourselves, cheaper than what the butcher would do for us.
Good night, Kaylee. Yeah, so definitely, unless something crazy happens and we just go like straight up carnivores, like we're not right now, and just eat like all this meat, maybe we would get like a feeder pig to overwinter next year, but that's like a really odd chance. So okay, did you see Almost Homestead's latest video? No, I haven't yet. I'll go check it out. Todd said that they're hilarious.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's That's not the one with like the beaver skin coat,
He
is
did
it? When he
another
was
one.
doing
He just
trapping?
he just did
Oh,
another
okay.
one.
We'll
I
have
just
to
saw
check
it.
that
Yeah.
one out.
So Jason Homestead said, "How much did the pigs weigh, and do you know when to take them? How much did the pigs weigh? How do you know when to take them in to butcher?" So I think it's up to you how big you want your pig to be.
When we talked to the butcher, that she said most pigs come in right around 200 pounds.
200 hanging weight pounds.
Hanging weight,
Yeah.
right.
And there's a tape measure process where you measure like behind their ear to the tip of their tail and around their chest, and you can gauge how big your pigs are. I think typically they say like 6 months, 6 to 8 months is the average grow out period for a feeder pig. Now, if you're talking something like an American guinea hog or a cooney, you're more like 18 months to grow those out. We did grow ours out a little longer, not because we wanted to, but because that was when our processor was available.
Yeah, and someone was asking, the well that we discovered on our property, does it have a pump?
No, nothing.
Nope, it is about, well, you can't really see. It's about 3 feet in diameter, brick-lined, hand-dug well, approximately 24 foot deep.
Yeah.
With a concrete cover that sits on the top.
Mm-hmm. Other producing your own goods on the farm that I was really interested in this year. So he had the bees. I wanted to be in charge of seeing if we could make our own maple syrup. So we have 2 really, really nice maple trees out front and maybe 3 other maple trees on the property that aren't as big, but lots of walnut trees. So I tapped one of the walnuts and 4 total maple trees. And this, guys, is my last jar of my maple syrup. How much did I get? I probably got like 5 pints of maple syrup from like 40 gallons of sap. I've enjoyed it thoroughly. I would like to come up with a more efficient process to make maple syrup, but it's such a small scale that we have. We just did it in the propane tank, or with using a propane tank on like a turkey fryer. And it does take a really, really long time. So I totally learned a new appreciation for the cost of real maple syrup. I kind of never got it. Why is maple syrup so expensive when you can buy it at the grocery store for like $2? Well, that's not maple syrup. It's corn syrup that's colored. And everyone that's tried it loves it. It's really, really good. And
you use it mostly in your coffee, don't you?
Yeah, right. It's become my coffee sweetener because we don't eat a lot of pancakes and stuff like that. I think the entire year we've maybe had 2 or 3 pancake or waffle or French toast or something like that breakfast. And so it's all gone because I use it like the elf in my coffee. So,
ooh, syrup.
Yeah.
Gons, are you guys going to go look at some property? Is that what I'm gathering from you? Or Tracy, sorry.
Chickawolf said they're making guinea hog sausage corn chowder tonight. I love corn chowder. It is my all-time favorite soup. Nice. Okay, so that marks off farm goals. We got through all of our... Oh, nope, one more. Sorry. We need to start plugging through these. Another big farm goal was harvest and preserve more. And I left that pretty general. I just said I want to put up more food than I did last year from my garden. And boy, howdy did I. I only have one picture to show you because we are going to do a pantry video coming up. And I told him we've got to do this fast because we are like, our son used to tease us that we're food hoarders because we would do all this work to put up our food and then never eat it. And that was true because it was like this prized possession. I had these 4 quarts of carrots and I don't want to eat them unless it's a special occasion. But now we have so much and we're actually consuming it a good deal. I was like, my pantry reveal video is going to look pathetic, but we put up a ton of food. So this was the amount of green beans that I put up. Plus, I had several bags in the freezer. Even had enough tomato sauce canned that I could play around. And what's on top is some of our own home canned barbecue sauce from our home canned tomato sauce.
You have 57 quarts of green beans, I think.
Yeah, 57 or 54. Sorry, whoops. So carrots, green beans, our honey, our syrup, tomato sauce, spaghetti sauce, barbecue sauce, apple butter, apple juice, apple sauce.
Did you talk about canned meats yet?
Nope. Canned chicken, canned turkey, canned ground beef, canned taco meat, canned sloppy joe meat. Tons of broth, turkey broth and chicken broth, and our garlic. And then a lot of frozen things like our frozen kale and spinach and greens.
Berries and
tons of berries
fruit
in the
juices.
freezer. Yeah. So we're using our berries like in smoothies for the morning. That's been a lot of fun. I've thrown them in our oatmeal when we're making our oatmeal. So we just had I could easily say I blew my expectations out of the water with that. And I look forward to next year, what we're going to be able to do.
Mm-hmm.
37 acres in Tennessee mountains. Good for you.
Yeah.
Awesomes. You guys are going to have to share your corn chowder recipes with me. I want to make that.
I don't like it.
I did preserve quite a bit of corn. Now, my corn harvest was probably the one thing that wasn't as good as the year before. And I think I know why. I think it's my fault. So I tried everything high intensity this year, even my corn. Like, I think I spaced my corn plants like 3 to 4 inches apart. Very, very, very close. And they suffered from it. So they are very happy feeders. So I won't make that mistake again. But unless you experiment, you don't know. I could have been missing something. Oh, I know. Sweet potatoes. Our potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
We had a really good harvest.
Most of that's in the freezer.
Mm-hmm. Pumpkins.
Do we can our pork or just freezer it? All of our pork is coming back from the butcher frozen, and it will just go right back into the freezer.
Yeah, but I think we're going to experiment with canning some. So, like, I want to try the canned breakfast sausage, like in a patty form, where you can just pop them out of the can and...
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, heat them up.
Yeah, try that.
Yeah. Oh, I wish you guys so much luck, Tracy and Mike. I hope that works out with you. So Deborah E. says she has 3 wells on 6 acres. Oh, that's awesome. So not only with our well, but see, our well's not going to solve my situation in the orchard. And another thing I want to do is because we do have a high water table here. Mm-hmm. I want him to try anyway. Let's just play with it because they're not that expensive to hope that it's going to work. Those sandpoint driven wells in the orchard. I want to put one of those in. That's what it's called, right? Just that thing that you... Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw, if you guys don't know Michigan Snow Pony, her husband put a couple in at their property, and it seemed fairly simple process to do.
Yeah, and La Diana says, what do your coworkers... Ladina. Mm-hmm. What do our coworkers think of our homesteading endeavors or our friends who live in the city?
What you could expect. Like,
I think most people are supportive of the big picture, but when we talk about specifics, like, yeah, I butchered my turkeys this weekend, and they're like, you really did it yourself? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Well, what did Rachel think? I'm like, she held the turkey down for me. They're like,
They're
what?
probably most shocked about me because I've gone like not 360, 180 degrees from the person that I was 10 years ago. I was climbing the corporate ladder and had very intentional goals of being this hoop-de-hoo person in the corporate world. And um, like half of those clothes, I don't even own them anymore. The shoes, I don't even own them anymore. And it's like even my daughters commented like, Mom, you don't dress like you used to.
All your
I'm like,
dresses and high heels
right,
and
right.
suits.
All
And
of that, like the briefcase, all of it. It's just so I think it started when we bought the cabin property and they're like, Rachel will do that. But what it truly is honestly that's so much of who I am. I mean, I was the tomboy and the outdoors girl growing up, and we did the camping, and I never had shoes on, and so it's really me just coming back full circle to my foundation and what truly brings me joy. Um, but I think my circle of friends really think it's cool what I'm doing, but at the same time, like, yeah, you can do your thing, and we'll keep going to the grocery store.
yeah.
What were the catalysts to begin the homesteading venture?
It's weird.
Sorry, he's got to grab the phone.
No one calls us.
Yes, my inner farm girl came out. Well, so I have pictures. I know it's on my Facebook page of me when I was a little girl. I had my cowboy boots on and my sundress, and that's who I was. I guess when you grow up in the heart of Texas and Louisiana, you just are a tomboy. I didn't grow up around cities. But our catalyst for homesteading, I truly wish that we would have done it when our kids were little, that we would have found this passion when we had young kids. But we just started becoming super informed about our food and started getting really inspired, just stumbling across, I think, one of our first two channels that we first started watching was In My Gardener and Joe and Zach's Survival. And so we got really interested in two aspects, the off-grid self-sufficiency living and the grow it yourself, grow your own food movements. And then we got exposed to a much larger community by researching more. And it kind of just, this dream just started going, wow, we can do this, we can do this. And yeah, I don't want to take part in that anymore. And oh my gosh, what have I been feeding my children? Like those kinds of revelations, And so I felt like no better time than when we were just still where we were in our suburban life, and we started gardening there, practicing canning, things like that. And now I get pictures, guys, from my son who's out in Hawaii. And the thing is, it's never too late to build an influence. And he is just blessing my heart so much. And I see him, and he has all his organic ingredients on the countertop, and he's making all homemade cheese and these homegrown healthy foods like his fish and his vegetables. And it just I told him the other day, I said, oh, you make my heart just swell seeing you eat so healthy. Because I can honestly say I did not raise my children that way until 3, 4, 5 years ago, when we really, really got passionate about changing. And that change happens over time. I don't know anyone that just makes the switch like that.
Right, it's hard to do that.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Even us. I mean, we still have commercial vices that
Oh yeah.
you partake in. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just for me. It's a balance thing
Yeah.
in that. Yeah, I'll eat whatever we had with you the other night. We had that grass-fed Swiss steak type
Oh
stuff that
yeah.
you made in the Instapot with couscous and. But when I get done, before I'm sitting down watching YouTube videos at the end of the night, I might get out my bag of Doritos and snack for a little bit. But it drives her crazy.
It does.
But for me, it's just balance.
I'm like, that is the fakest food you could possibly eat. I've got to figure out how to make you a healthier choice of Doritos. But that's his thing. He loves his Doritos.
Yeah.
Will you be video? Yes. So Tracy, yes. So we're going to do the weekend in review. I'm going to figure out a way to send him some clips from Hawaii that he can compile and show you guys. I don't know how much time I'm going to have, to be honest, because I land the very next day is the wedding, and then 2 days, and then I come home. So, okay.
Yeah, we got to keep moving.
Yeah. So that was all outside of the home. Now we're coming inside the home.
Mm-hmm.
And I had my first major goal, which I don't do enough about on my page or on the channel. And so one of my desires in 2019 is to be more vocal about my passion, which is a zero waste desire. And I'm far, far from it, let me tell you. But I've made huge progress in just being a conscious consumer about what I bring into the house. And I'm not taking it to the minimalistic level. I'm just saying, when I do consume something, is there a waste-free option for me? So, major changes that we made this year, we switched to, these are cloth napkins. We did not buy any paper towels. Maybe one package of paper towels at the beginning, like a 6-pack at the beginning of the year that rip off into small sections. Because there are some things that, like, how do you drain bacon grease? I haven't learned that trick yet. I'm sure like cheesecloth or something like that, but you just have to throw it away. So I'm not quite sure, or you just eat it greasy, I guess.
Well, yeah, I mean, you fry up a pound of bacon in a cast iron skillet and you use the thing to wipe it. Sometimes it's nice to not use one of these to get grease all over it. You just use a small piece of paper towel, wipe it down, stick it back in the cabinet, and you're good.
Right. So that was huge for us because we were massive paper towel consumers. Paper towel consumers. Like, my family freaked out when I made this change. The next thing that we were massive consumers on were paper plates. 5 meals out of the week were served on paper plates just because we didn't want to do the dishes. So we didn't totally give up paper plates, but we've hardly used them at all. But what we did move to was the compostable paper plates. None of these get thrown away. They just get used for weed barrier, or if there's food and stuff on them, I just throw them in the chicken run and they break them all up and peck at them, and they just get decomposed and becomes my compost.
We use them as weed barriers too.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Well, oh, you said that?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. What else did we waste less of? I know I have examples here. Oh, I know. I didn't buy any Windex this year. This is an old Windex bottle, but I started making just my own like vinegar cleaner solution. We're huge Windex users, so that was another easy one to. And the way I looked at it is, what are the huge waste items? Now, guys, I'm going to tell you, I'm not going away from toilet paper. I'm not going to go that crazy. But I will look and see if
I will. My Doritos.
I will look and see, though, if I have there's a recyclable option for the toilet paper that it's been made out of recycled paper. And then things that I was already doing, but I continued to do, is I make my own toothpaste. I make my own deodorant. These are just deodorant bars. And I learned to make chapstick. Now, I'm not a big chapstick user, but my kids are, and Todd is. So, and I continue to make my own soap. I haven't bought soap in a couple of years. So, my experiment for 2019 will be to expand that. Like, so I'm asked for Christmas stuff to make my own shampoos, my own conditioners.
Liz is here. What are you doing here, Liz?
Liz!
It's way past your bedtime. Or you're up way early.
Yeah, right. So zero waste was my number one goal, to improve on that in the household this year. I think I did a phenomenal job. Another thing that we are more conscious about is taking our bags into the grocery store instead of coming home with shopping bags. But sometimes it's still not 100% natural. So I never think about taking my shopping bags into TSC with me, as I do when I go to the grocery store. So it's just always remembering to have one in my purse or in my jacket pocket or something that I can pull out should I buy something. Please do a video on the toothpaste and deodorant. Will do.
You already have?
I tried, and the deodorant one didn't turn out for some reason.
Really?
And I have never done one on the toothpaste.
But you have a better recipe now, right?
Oh yeah, my recipe for deodorant, I just refreshed it. It's a legit antiperspirant deodorant that will not melt on you. Is awesome, because my deodorant recipe I was using before, if it got like above 70 degrees, it was like this melty mess. And bread will soak up the grease just like paper towel does. Thanks, Tracy, for the tip. And then I could just feed that bread to the chickens. Thank you. I'm going to do that now.
There you go.
There you go. The next one was cook 3 meals a week. I gave myself a 50% on that one. It's hard, guys. It is. So again, we have all this food, but when it's just us half the time, to cook a meal is sometimes, especially after working and then farm chores, half the time I would grab like a bowl of cereal. And that's so terrible when I have all this good food. But we did make a conscious effort. We really, really did improve.
Yeah, I think we did better
on making dinners. And a lot of times they would last us 2 or 3 days. So that was good. Thanks for waking up, Liz, to jump on. Yep, go ahead with that one. I've been doing all the talking.
Sure.
So that was supposed to be downstairs.
Yeah, the downstairs bathroom renovation was on our list.
And that was a stretch goal.
A stretch goal.
Yeah. Meaning that I knew it would be hard to do.
Project manager.
Yeah.
By trade. One of the things we wanted to do was renovate that. It's fully functional now as is. It's not junky. It works, but she wants it to be more farmhouse style bathroom. It ended up getting whacked from the list for financial reasons. There was a couple of things that came up. One was the survey of our property took a big chunk of money we didn't plan on spending as much as we did. So that kind of whacked that off the list for us.
So I'm going to tell you guys something, because if you see my nose doing something, it's because we keep knocking this 5-gallon crock that I did my egg preserving water glassing of the eggs, and I'm gonna have to check this when we get done with this video. There might be something bad in there.
It smells like dirty feet.
It's definitely not me. I haven't had shoes on all day. Okay.
So the bathroom was we did not succeed in that goal, but it was by choice.
But there's a circle-ish on it because we did another reno. We just finished our laundry room renovation upstairs and finished the bathroom that it connects to. And that was a much, much more affordable project to tackle. And that video is coming out tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. It's a silly video, really. It's just me painting and stuff like that. But some people like those. This is a very old farmhouse. How are you going to fit a laundry room and a bathroom and make that work?
Right. Yeah, and James says that he loves to grow food and eat food, but hates cooking it.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I know. If I had only had somebody magic Jetson button that I could push to say, I want chicken today.
Yep, and the same with the stairway fixer for the stairs that lead from our downstairs of our house to the upstairs of our house.
You can walk up them.
You can walk up them. They're covered in carpet that's kind of ugly. The walls are wallpapered halfway up with this cheesy wallpaper. She wanted to fix it, and it was the exact same thing with that. It was budgetary reasons.
Yeah.
I only have so much money. Wanda from Deep South, problems with her egg preservation. Yeah, we watched Wanda's video.
Yeah, she did oil, though. She dunked hers in oil before she did the lime wash. So I didn't do any of that. I made sure that they were clean eggs. But I'm going to have to check it. That's it.
We had this stuff that we didn't talk about yet, and this.
Okay, how much time we have? We only have 4 minutes. So we did talk about a lot of this. No, we didn't. Things that we got done real fast that weren't on the list, weren't on the goals. Cleared the woods more. The woods is almost completely cleared, ready to expand with an additional food forest expansion.
Yep.
There's
still a lot of stumps to pull, and there's still more to do, but we made a huge dent in it.
It's nearly done, though.
Yep.
This wasn't on the list. This was a huge, overgrown, massive, nasty bush thing, lilac tree that was at the driveway. I needed that gone. I was so frustrated by it. So Todd helped me pull all that out, and he built me this cute arbor that we're going to grow roses up on, and the fence.
Yep.
The porch painting. So if you guys don't know why some of these things are happening too, my son's getting married in Hawaii next week, but they're coming back and they're having their reception here on the property next May. So there was a lot of things that were not on our list to do this year that we had to get done. So painted the porch, and we stained the back deck. And I fenced in my garden, not for the wedding, but for rabbits. That was not on the plan this year. And then last but not least, in the last 3 minutes, an unspoken goal of ours was this whole YouTube channel.
Yep.
We started the YouTube channel on January 1st of 2018 with, I think, 80 subscribers.
When we started, we had 80, I believe. Yeah.
And today we're sitting before the show at 3,525 subscribers, which we dearly and truly mean that you guys are our extended friends and family. We love engaging with you. Mm-hmm. And I think we've put a decent effort other than over the summer, because we were so busy with the gardening and the harvest season and stuff that we didn't get out as many videos. But we were honest that we were going to take that bit of a break. Right,
and I think one of our goals to have 100 videos by the end of the year.
Yes. How many do we have? I think
we're sitting at about 88 or 89 right now.
We might not make that. Oh, yeah.
And one of our other goals was we thought it would be really cool to get to 5,000 in the first year.
Yeah, we won't make that.
And I don't think we're going to make that.
That's okay, though.
Some strange, bizarre thing happens.
Right. Yeah.
But it's been fun.
I bet if you cut your beard off, we would get there.
No way.
Yes, we would, wouldn't we, guys? If Todd cut his beard off, wouldn't you guys all share that? And we would get all those other subscribers?
I don't think so. Most people voted against cutting off the beard.
Whose vote matters? Mine. Oh, gosh.
But YouTube has been fun.
It has been fun.
It's been a learning experience here. We can switch this back to us, so they don't have to look at us tiny up there in the corner. It's been fun. We've learned a ton. We've gotten better at it. Mm-hmm. And in some ways, we still suck at it.
How's that?
I feel like I suck at it.
Don't say that word one more time on YouTube. You're still struggling with learning different concepts, or?
No, I'm still not always comfortable being in front of camera.
Oh, even camera.
Tonight, doing our live shows, I still feel weird sometimes.
Beard cut on a live show. Great idea, Gons.
It won't bring in subscribers.
I bet if we promote it and say you got to go share it with a friend, bring people in, we're doing a live beard cutoff, and then show the magnificent beard, people are going to want to come see that.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, Diana even said it's going to go viral. Yes. Troy, hush. Or Wendy, if that's you, hush. Okay.
So, yep, YouTube has been fun, and it's still fun, so we will keep doing it.
Yep. So
if it ever gets to the point where it's not fun, we probably won't do it anymore.
No, right. Okay, so stay tuned for 2019. We'll do something similar, like goals. They're going to be pretty generic in that I just don't know. We have a lot going on next year with the wedding reception. It's our 10-year anniversary. Abigail's graduating. Breeding goats possibly. So it's just, we're going to try to focus on the celebrations that are happening and not put too much on our plate.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Mike. How can he compete in the best homestead beard contest with no beard? That's a good question.
He's going to have to be the person that places the ribbon. You know how they do that? Like Miss America comes out and crowns the new Miss America. You could get in touch with Whistle Thicket and say, I would like to generously donate my time to crown the new beard champion.
Yeah, which one did I win last year? Like the wizard beard or something like that? Or the Gandalf beard?
The wizard beard, yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know.
It wasn't me, Wendy.
And coming up soon, what do we have? No more live shows until 2019.
Right.
We'll be back with that. Weekend in reviews, we should be able to keep producing those. I think maybe at Christmas time might get a little crunch time, but because it is a time for family for us. Yeah. The kids all be home from college, and we really like spending time with our family during that time. But we still might be able to put some stuff out. So
the laundry room makeover is coming out tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
We got nominated, guys, for the yoga challenge. I'm so excited. I was like sitting on my hands and knees. Please, somebody nominate me. Please, somebody nominate me. So JJL Forge just did it and tagged us in it. I'm ready to go.
She already has her costume picked out.
I'm gonna wear a costume. I'm gonna flash dance it up. It's gonna be fun.
I will do my best.
All right. Oh, good. Hug 'em tight, Ladina. Merry Christmas, guys. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas. Hug your loved ones, eat some yummy cookies, and we'll see you in the new year.
Absolutely. Thank you. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us on these Tuesday nights and chatting with us, watching our videos all year long. Some of you guys have been with us from the very beginning and followed us all this time, and thank you. We appreciate it.
Yep.
So that's all for tonight.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Have a good night, guys. We will see you soon. She says, poor Todd.
I know. He's gonna be in a costume too, guys. Tie.